Even on my side, we're back live. Yeah, man.
Yeah, peace of mind.
Another episode.
Yeah.
And starting off, man, the hot topic, the hot discussion that is happening around the colored community.
Yeah, that one is hot, bro.
Yeah, man.
So it came off from that boy who said colored people chow each other.
Yeah.
So that's what's causing the uproar.
I'm not sure if it's all that, or maybe he said some other things, because I'm someone who I don't usually follow that platform.
That podcast too.
Yeah. So even now, when people were now being outrageous towards them, saying they need to be cancelled and everything, I wasn't fully aware as to what is the nature of what he said.
Yeah,
what is
the context.
The only thing I got was they said something terrible about the colored people. Hence, seeing people like Gayton McKenzie, Patriotic Alliance, they're now calling for the chopping of these boys.
Yeah. So from the small clip that I saw, what the boy said, he said, I said colored people chow each other.
Sure.
That means families, colored people with families, they chow each other, cousins. It's things we hear. We are not part of the colored community. I've heard it before.
Sure.
Like I've never seen it.
And it's not something that per se you can literally say it's only colored people who are said to be doing that. If they are doing that, even the other communities, your black people, though you'll hear some guys saying whenever their distant cousins come, they will somehow turn them into a mass sneaky link. Some of them, they don't know each other. Some of them are distant cousins to an extent where they don't share. They're not blood. They're not blood family. They're just cousins, because maybe someone else's stepmom married into someone else's family, and now all of a sudden you guys become cousins, and people even marry each other, bro.
I have a long distant cousin of mine. The same surname, they got married. Maybe they didn't know each other at first, but then they discovered the surname, and they don't believe, maybe you from KZN, I'm this surname from this side.
Sure.
There is no relations,
but it's actually Zulu from Mpumalanga. One day you meet each other,
you fall in love,
and later on you find that this person is your relative, and already you've caught feelings. What do you do? It doesn't stop anything at most. It doesn't stop anything.
I think also this thing of sleeping with whatever cousins or whatever, it all goes down to maybe culture and morals. The morals of the culture, what you guys believe in as a particular group. So if in our group we don't do this, and I see another group doing that, and I'm surprised, hey, these people do this, am I wrong, am I racist?
And there's always that thing where back at home in Limpopo, there will always be those scenarios where a cousin goes and marry another cousin, and traditionally it is accepted, because they say meaning something like that.
So I've also had those almost encounters where I almost child a cousin, in the sense of
at some point you're
family gathering. You don't know, like you never met them before, and you're looking at them like, damn boy, that is fine. You're like damn boy, and then everybody's drinking there, and everybody's drinking. She be there grinding on. Of course.
And later on, they come and like, have you met your cousin? And you're like, hey, cousin.
And on top of that, there's already a connection.
That's the thing.
There's already a connection. Now you can't chow. At certain points, I understand why certain times in the others, they just go with the flow and then end up chowing either way.
So even in my case, I get the outrage. But just like what the boys are saying, they were just making a joke, like they always do about other tribes. And whatever norm that is a certain standard that people have now go on to say, this is what's happening within this community of people. And I don't literally think they wanted to cause harm to anyone.
No,
it just came out as a funny way. Like and also something that probably this boy had somewhere where people were saying, they do that.
And then he was amazed, he was shocked, because maybe in his culture he never heard of something like that. And then on top of that, it was that what he said wasn't directed to someone individually specific. So it is just a statement, a broad statement. Even though when we say, hey, this type of people are like this,
you always say Pulani people are aggressive, but it's not all of
them.
It's
not all of them. Like that's why I know, man. Very, I know. Look, when I go to when I go to R40,
sure.
I know 70% of the motherfuckers there maybe got guns. 70% of when I'm man, so I know my G, but it's not everyone.
Same thing about Zulu taxi drivers. They will tell you, a lot of them are arrogant.
Still on. Yeah. Oh yes.
Picking up those guys.
Yeah, we're still on the sushi boys. So like. So I was saying now that everybody is going down the rabbit hole of these two guys, and then with we were talking about the denied being in Matlala's friend.
Oh, Kenny
Kunene denying being Matlala's friend, and then a podcast resurfaced of him saying that there was a time I was owning clubs and criminals would come to the clubs and I would give them ideas on what to do and what to do. And they would come back and say, yes, those plans of yours, they worked. So now I'm thinking, homeboy, you don't just sell ideas for free.
They were washing money at some point.
Probably no. Okay, what I've heard is that these clubs, they're used to wash money very for when it comes to drug dealers, when it comes to criminal, even heist money. Sure. Okay, so somebody can just come and clean it up through the clubs. No matter what he said was that if he knows criminals, and he would give input to criminal activity,
and they will go and use that input, and then it will work.
It would work.
But let's not forget, he used to be a criminal himself. He got arrested for certain things that they used to do, him and Gayton.
Yeah.
So obvious his ideas, it's not something that was not practical. He was giving them practical ideas and suggestions of certain things on how they used to operate.
They used to operate,
so it's like when you've kind of like retired from football, and then somebody comes to your place and then you start giving them footballing ideas. And like, when you're in the 18 area, instead of shooting like this, kick from this.
And I believe, I think I heard that the time maybe Kenny was arrested, they were all arrested. So it's alleged.
Sure.
SBV, monies for SBV and stuff like that. It used
to be like that. It used to be like that because even when they came out, people were saying
now they're spending the money for the SBVs. That's why they took them out so that they can spend the money, bring the money back to the economy. So now these guys were criminals. Now what I'm failing to understand is that even to get a job, you don't get a job with a criminal record. But how is the government allowing criminals to be heading departments?
No, that one, I think there was a certain time in the SA Constitution and so many things that govern how people were arrested. They say, first thing, after 10 years, your criminal record goes away. Yes. So you're no longer looked at as you've been rehabilitated, so it's more like that. And also there was a certain law that I think they said it wasn't passed by a certain time. So if you are arrested before this time, even when you come out, maybe a few years down the line, it's clean, you can go back and start working, especially for the government, for institutions. There was one thing maybe you cannot be. It's like your political prisoners. People like Jacob Zuma, he couldn't contest.
No, but that is understandable when it comes to political prisoners. But we were talking about guys who were robbing SBVs, who were doing other crimes. Of course, when we were heisting SBVs, there are people who are dying there. So we're killing people, we're stealing money, and then now they take these guys. After they were arrested, they were still out and about, still contributing to crime in terms of his input. If you went to jail, why are you giving people advices? Because right now, I'm pretty sure you wanted to get paid for the advices. You can't go do dealings and it doesn't get a shame. So it goes back to my plan.
Obviously, now if you check where he was found when the police were making that arrest of that guy who is alleged to have been the one behind the killing of DJ Somebody.
DJ Somebody,
yes. So Kenny came and said, I went there. I don't know whether they say I was just driving or I just arrived. They said something.
No, he said I went there to do an interview. So it's like our boss saying I captain my vexana to host an interview at Ket Matlala's place. So he said he was.
It's not Matala. It's not at Matala's place. That other guy, Murafu Muhara, something. The guy who's like something like that.
Something like that. Okay.
Yeah.
So he said he was because he has a newsroom or news station, is Africa whatever. So he has a journalist that he hired there. So he because Ket Matlala because whatever that guy is has an associate that also knows him. So that associate connected them for the interview. So he had to take the boy to go to that place to shoot the interview.
But that was a big fat lie. That was a big fat lie, because if you check, there are records where it shows that this guy have met before and they know each other. It's more like what was happening between Mohoti and Senzo Mkuni when it was like, I don't know this guy. Later on, he comes and say he is an associate. They say, what sort of an associate? He's like, he's a political associate. And then they check Matala, Mohoti comes and say, actually, I work underground for the police intelligence. And they're like, okay, are you formally employed? Then it's like, no, I will still answer that one, but I won't answer it here. So it comes back to that. Even the issue of Kenugunene, him being found there, it just shows what has been hidden from people for a very long time. There's a lot that is going on in the background that we don't see, but politicians are able to do that and come back to our face and start lying to us. There are tenders that go out to criminals. There are tenders that go out to tender mafias. Like they know they are protected in that way. No, like in Limpopo. You heard about that one who was giving her husband Ama tenders. 200 and something million worth of tenders, or 400 something. And whereas there are some people who are said to be not from here, but they were awarded the tender. The company was awarded the tender.
No. So what this? I didn't hear about that story. Mara, I've been hearing, man, like people monopolizing hospital constructions, like all his construction. It's only one person's construction vehicles are dealing with that. It's only his construction workers that are handling all that. It's only him that has to build the whole thing. So, but I think General Mkwana did us justice, because I think we kind of knew, Mara, like, without maybe without somebody speaking it out loud, we wouldn't say it. It's like everybody knows the drug dealers all around, but nobody has the guts to speak against drug dealers or whatnot.
Because they are protected.
They are protected. You speak out, you're the next one to die. So like we rather not know nothing.
Worse, even the same police. So some people in the police who see these things, who are aware of these things, but because now you so much value your family, your life, you end up sweeping this under the carpet like you didn't see anything.
Exactly.
And fast forward not so long, there's a video that came out of the lady or IDT, the one who got caught with a spokesperson trying to bribe this other white journalist.
Oh, apparently you're probably the wife not to record whatever.
The Chiscop lady, what. And then she gave the guy, but the spokesperson came to the meeting with a 60K in an envelope. And then they handed it out on the table. And that one.
Because I just heard of it. I think I was just watching Season Scoop.
Bro, there was a camera that was planted before they got there. So the journalist tricked them. And now the lady is coming out and saying she wasn't aware that the spokesperson came with the money. She wasn't trying to bribe him, but the spokesperson was trying to
bribe him.
So it's a mess, because it is there on camera, bro. There's the footage.
So wait a minute. What was the cause of this problem? What is the story? Why was that guy trying to bribe the journalist? What did the journalist come to report?
They say independent department, what, IDT, I forgot what they say it stands for. So it works hand in hand with public works. It works hand in hand with public works. So road construction mostly and stuff. So there was some money for this other power. They say oxygen plant, 820 something million. That really disappeared without the completion of the project. The project
I've heard about that. Yes, okay, yeah.
So the money disappeared before the project could even be completed. Then the journalists started digging, and then when they find information as to, because now they're saying the lady brought a house, and when they journalists start to look into where the money bought the house is from, they feel like it's money that has been from those projects,
and those projects are not even completed.
They're not even completed.
Yes,
so the story was the journalists, obviously, before they release a story, what do they do? They call you and say, we have written this story. Do you dispute what we want to publish, or do you want to comment before we take it out? So what happened was there started to be meetings between the spokesperson, the journalist, the lady, and the the journalist. So until they met, I think they met in Cape Town, Stellenbosch. There was a formal meeting. They went there, then started talking, blah blah blah. The journalist says he was even offered a tender. They told him to start fixing his documents for his company so he can bid for those tenders. So they don't know that there's a camera that is planted there. So the spokesperson took out an envelope.
So those two, the journalist organized said, you will find me at this particular place.
Sure. Because they found him there, sitting, waiting for them. Then they sat down, not knowing the guy is planted, whatever he planted. Then they offered him money.
But then I think you also have to plant the cameras, because you don't know. These guys have a major case against them. They might even want to kill me. Let me just put the cameras
That's what happened, because they said the journalist says they also did a affidavit and stuff. If maybe something happens to me, it's because I'm investigating so and so. Blah 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 and that. So there was no other way out besides either confronting him or releasing the story first before him, or trying to meet him halfway, and if he falls for the money, then he's gonna take the money. But then the journalist, after counting the money, taking a picture, then he gave them back the money and say, I actually wanted you guys to get to a point where you bribe me. Everything is on record. Gonna publish the story. Either you guys like it or not. Then the spokesperson took back the money into his wallet, and then now.
What did he do?
They just sat there. The journalist left. They also left. So now it comes back to a point where there's too much corruption in South Africa, and people somehow have a loophole to get away with it. Why am I saying this? The lady can still get away of this case unharmed. Maybe she might lose her job, but arrested for bribe and stuff? No, because you know why she's saying, I didn't bribe this guy. Did you see me giving him money? No. Who gave him money? The spokesperson.
So the spokesperson is in trouble.
The spokesperson is in trouble, but he doesn't have much to lose. Like, hey, she was the CEO, bro, 5DT.
Wait a minute. So no, it means because now the case wasn't on the guy, the spokesperson. The case was on her.
Sure.
So now, because now this spokesperson works for her.
It's still.
But okay, still, right now, because right now this guy is okay. You are the one who is wrong,
sure.
And then me, I go there to take out a bribe for what?
Sure.
So it's for you, not for my sins, but it's for you. So it means I will need to be questioned. What mean? What am I trying to bribe her for? Do I have sins for myself now? If I don't have sins for myself,
obviously they are there. But here's the thing now. I don't think the spokesperson has much to lose from being implicated into the case or being said
bribe is illegal.
I mean, not anything to lose as in, bruh. How much is a spokesperson earning compared to the CEO? So the CEO's reputation, it's bigger than that of a spokesperson. The CEO can still take care of the spokesperson, even him being fired. Can still pay for your family, can still send your kids to varsity, can still maintain your lifestyle. But if the CEO falls, the spokesperson as well, his life is done. So that's why I'm saying he doesn't have much to lose in this case if he can take the blame. It's more like you see those cases where people say people go into jail and on other people's behalf.
So what could happen is he could take the blame and saying,
he's gonna take the blame.
With maybe also not just for bribing. He could say she didn't know.
She didn't. He's gonna say that. He's gonna say that.
One organizing.
She's already saying that. She didn't know that he came with money there to that meeting. She was surprised. He said she was shocked, like the journalist was when he took out money. So, but you can see something is getting cooked somewhere.
So as much as there's Mkonazi's side and then there's the drug dealer side. So there's the bad side. So like, what I'm looking at here, bro, because Nkanazi talked about high officials, talked about judges, talked about a whole lot of people.
Politicians.
Like right now, I do see a civil war coming in, because the only way I don't say solution, because right now if they're always going to keep bribing people, what's going to happen to Mkwanazi's side?
There's a guy, I think just to conclude it, because I think we're almost out of time, to conclude it, following what you're saying, there's a guy who was interviewed on Shivambu podcast. He said South Africa is in a state where we can experience a coup anytime. Reason being, a lot of major generals have come out speaking against the amount of corruption that is happening here in the country, the amount of vulnerability the country is being put under. You remember that guy in the army?
Yeah, which one is that one?
The guy in the army was called out for saying there's no budget for the army.
I remember that. Yeah, sure.
You remember what the politicians said?
They were like,
they came for his head. They were like, no, you cannot say that. He was like, no, but we have to say it.
And I think they were sent to a country outside South Africa. And then they were like, dude, you put us in another country, we don't even have
the resources.
And then, oh, fuck, I forgot.
Yeah. So afterwards, there's someone in the Navy, a general in the Navy, who said South Africa is vulnerable to an attack any time because the seas are not protected. The budget is not there to protect us from the seas that are there. So if ever there are to be terrorists who can come into the country, they can come in with ease. And we've been seeing that with people saying their borders are porous. Or Tambo there, people just pass like nothing is happening. Exactly. And you have people from certain countries where you don't know what they are running away from and why are they coming here. Some, yes, asylum seekers, some not.
Like, you know, and I heard that too, but I think also the biggest problem, the president, once he became president, he moves the ministry of the police or the Minister of Defense, he put it in the Ministry of the Presidency. So now even the president can be corrupt. The ministry and the presidency has to first report to the president. Every criminal activity, even though he is in charge of these criminal activities, they're going to have to report to him, and then he will close it down.
That's how it works. And I don't blame the people who are saying we're almost very close to a civil war, not necessarily a civil war, but a coup. Because you remember when Mkwanazi as well came out, people were like, no, you cannot do that. How then can you give address with men dressed in masks, holding guns? So they were kind of getting the Traore vibes. Isn't this guy maybe one day gonna wake up and monopolize the police and want to take down the government? They are scared it's going to get to that. But one thing they are ignoring is what led us to this point. What is leading us to this point? Corrupt politicians.
Yeah, corrupt politicians. And I think there's really in this world there's like both sides. You know, like I believe there's the good side and then there's the bad side. It's like so right now I feel like Mkwanazi, the reason he is so courageous, I think he also has like really rich men backing him up.
It's always like that because you're not the only one who's starting to complain. And there are two forces now that are trying to go to war. And from these two forces is either one force will have to compromise. Either the president will then have to say, I'll need to start arresting people for corruption. Everyone has to start getting investigated. If ever you are caught having stolen more than $1 million, we prosecute you, we send you to jail, we strip you of anything, like what they did in Singapore.
But I think he won't do that because right now there's still the pala. So you cannot talk about other people stealing money, whereas you are also implicated in stealing money.
And on the same pala, what did the major generals in the police do to shield him from prosecution? Because what kind of information did they hide from the public that even today, if he has to punish them, he won't have that edge to punish them?
Yes. So everything, that's also now the presidents, police should be independent of the presidents because that's how even apartheid controlled the police. If you take the minister of the police into the minister of the presidency, it means you have the final say. Like
as to what happens.
Who gets arrested. So now the police can't even investigate you. They can't even hold you, the president, accountable.
So with that said, the people will decide who's right, who's wrong. But at the end of the day, something is cooking somewhere.
Something is gonna give, bro. Like right now, I'm even waiting to see what this this commission will apparently Friday, this Friday, they're gonna have to take out some information, whatever. Sure. So we gotta watch Guti.
Yeah, I've been following a bit of it, and there's a committee. Portfolio committee in Parliament, the commission as well. People are gonna be summoned, and I don't know. Maybe the people know what they to expect, or maybe what kind of outcome they expect from these two. Yeah. But the thing is, if nothing gives after this, are we edging closer and closer to what people are scared is gonna happen? Because the people will eventually get tired. Yeah. And they will revolt. Yeah. And when they revolt, it will get to a point where leadership will then come and blame those ones who spoke before and said, this is what's happening. Yeah, man, I think we can call it.
So, if maybe whatever you guys are thinking, what do you guys think will happen with this commission? What do you think is the way forward? Sure. What is really going on with Gayton McKenzie and his sushi brother? Because are they betraying each other? What's going on with this friendship and politics? The minister... leave your
are they lying to their voters? Are they trying to use certain things now to garner votes?
What is your opinion about this, guys? Just leave on the comment section, like, reshare.
Yeah, man, and just like that, we're out. Peace of Mind Podcast.